All right, hello everybody. We'll give people a chance to come in here. Um, come in here before we get started. Let's see now. Chai is amazing. Superhero static shocker. Superhero static shocker. Criminal getting twisted. It's superhero missing. Nobody know what I do. Superhero static shocker. Superhero static shocker. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. Have a yabba dabba do time. From the town of Bedrock, there's a place right out of history. That's right, with the family down the street. Rudolph, courtesy of Fred's old heap. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. A dabba do time. We'll have a gay old time. Meet George Jetson. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. His boy Elroy. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Hello, we have a second person here. I hope you're doing well tonight. We're just waiting on some more people to show up. I thank you for the like and the share. All right, so all right, so let's see now. Give it a few more minutes before we see. Daughter Judy, do-do-do-do-do-do. Jane, his wife, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Let's see. What shall we do now? Let's see. If you have anything you'd like to ask or comment on, feel free to do so as well as we cover articles tonight. Let's see. All right, so let's see now. 369, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 369, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. And there's 3 in the family. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. Yes, they did. It's a magic number. Yes, they did. It's a family. All right. So anyway, let's see. We'll wait a few more. Let's see. I have 2. All right. So let's see. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Come on, Scooby Doo, I see you, pretending you got a sliver. You're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver. You know you got a mystery to solve, so Scooby Doo, be ready for your act. Don't hold back. And Scooby Doo, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack. That's a fact. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We're ready and you're willing. And we can count on you, be Scooby Doo. You know we'll catch that villain. All right, well, we're past the 5 minute mark. There's two of us here, so I guess I'll kind of go into what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I got 9 articles to go through, plus wrestling roundup. So among all 9 of the articles I'll be reading from will be from CBR, Comic Book Review, CBR.com. Um, Among those, we're going to be leading off with the passing of a famous artist, James Bama, famous Doc Savage cover artist. He passed away today at the age of 95. Also, the media franchise Heavy Metal celebrates 45 years. Let's see. Also on tap for tonight, um, George Perez influenced some artwork here that we'll be looking at. Among other things, on the anime side of it, so we had three comics related and then 6 anime related stories. So among the anime related stories include, as soon as I let's see. There's a new trailer out for the upcoming Gundam movie involving Kukuru's Dome. Um, there's some artwork we're gonna take a look at in regards to My Hero Academia. Wit Studios celebrates 10 years. There's a stage adaptation of Studio Ghibli's My Neighbor Totoro. Let's see. Also, why Chojo anime rarely ever reach mainstream popularity, um, and then English dub voice actor Billy Kametz recently came out about a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. So some sad news there. So those are the art. That's what's on tap. Plus, of course, as I said, the wrestling roundup. Um, let's see. So let's see if anybody else has shown up yet. And nope. All right. Well, we're going to get going anyways. I know a little earlier than usual, but I figured might as well just get right into it. Hopefully, people will show up soon. Anyways, here we go. All right. So the first article we're going to look at here. All right. Acclaimed Doc Savage artist James Bama dies at 95. Dude lived a pretty long life there. So 95. So it would have meant he would have probably been born sometime in 1927 or maybe 27 or 28, depending upon what, at least, because he could, could still, he could have turned 95. Oh, wait, no, 26 or 27, I guess. Um, Depending upon when his birthday is. So James Bama, famed painter who did covers for dozens of Doc Savage novels before becoming an award-winning fine artist, has passed away at age 95. Article by Brian Cronin, published 21 hours ago. I guess it's one. James Bama, a legendary commercial painter whose work covered over 5 dozen Doc Savage novels, before transitioning to award winning fine art depicting Native Americans and cowboys in Wyoming over the course of 5 decades, has passed away at the age of 95. Emma grew up in Manhattan during the Great Depression and started drawing as a child. Inspired by adventure comic strips like Alex Raymond's Flash Gordon, he sold his first drawing when he was 15 years old. He graduated from high school during World War II, um, and they forgot to capitalize the second I there, and served in the Army Air Forces for a year and a half. When he was discharged, he studied at the Art Students League and went to work at the Charles E. Cooper Studios as a commercial illustrator in 1951. So theoretically, he would have been about 25, 26 then. He did illustrations for magazines, movie posters, and covers of novels. Starting in 1964 with his iconic cover for The Man of Bronze, Bama painted over 60 Doctor Strange or Doc Savage covers for Bantam Books. And Doc Savage, not Doctor Strange. I don't know why I said that. So here's one of the covers, I guess. Man of Bronze plus The Land of Terror. Incredible origin of the first superhero. During this period, he also famously did the paintings for the Aurora Monster model kits. Here are some more examples of his works, I guess. Mummy, the Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula. Let's see. Bama's work was widely beloved, and he became a major influence on a number of other painters, illustrators, including famed comic book painter Alex Ross, who described Bama's influence. Quote, Bama's influence on me is in his monochromatic approach, um, which I have tried to replicate on many different subjects. A lot of James Bama's lighting style is what I try to go for, pushing heavy, charismatic shadows on the figures to amplify drama, which sounds like a pretty cool thing to do. When I think of the realistic painters I admire, like Rockwell, their work is often not as similar to my objectives as Bama's is. Unquote. After marrying in 1964, which would have theoretically made him what 6 minus 6 5 minus it made him like 27 or 28 around there. No, no, actually, I'm sorry, 37 or 38. Bama eventually moved to Wyoming as a guest of the Bob Myers of the Bob Myers. Okay, I think you didn't need to put the there. A Charles E. Cooper studio colleague of Bama's, who gave up a very successful career as a commercial illustrator to move to Wyoming to run a ranch. Bama and his wife visited Myers a few times before moving to Wyoming permanently themselves in 1968, which would have made him about 42, 40, yeah, 41, 42 probably. Living in a cabin on Myers Ranch. Um, Drawing contemporary Western subjects during the day while continuing freelance work at night. His paintings of Native Americans and cowboys in Wyoming drew him a new wave of critical acclaim. I guess this is an example of one of his pieces of work right here. That does look pretty realistic right there. I was looking like that Native American right there is going to walk right through that picture and say hi to you. Uh, yeah, I'll go back up and show it to you. Look at that. Look at that picture right there. Doesn't it look like he's gonna come right up to you? Uh, his 1970 portrait of Roy Benzona as Old Man Wyoming, quote unquote. Benzoma was born the day Wyoming became a state. It's displayed at the Smithsonian Art Museum. So, whoa! Until that guy's probably been out in the sun a bit. Look at just how many wrinkles he's got there. Man, dude. Bama just recently received the Governor's Art Award in February, where he spoke of his subjects as the last, quote unquote, the last survivors of a vanishing world. Bama was just 4 days shy of his 96th birthday when he passed on April 24th. So he would have turned 96 tomorrow. So let's see, 2022 minus 90. So that meant he was born in 1926 then. So he was born April 24th, 1926, passed away. I'm sorry. He was born April 28th, 1926, passed away April 24th, 2022. So why don't we go ahead and I'm going to do a moment of silence, for the guy, as is customary in this situation. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and move on. Get ready to move on to the next article here. Um, all right, so here's the next article we're going to be looking at. Exclusive. Heavy metal celebrates 45 years by bringing its Cold Dead War to Bloody Paradise. CBR can exclusively reveal a preview for Cold Dead War, Bloody Paradise, a new story by David Irwin Vasilis Cogzelas, um, featured in Heavy Metal number 316. Article by Brandon Schwer, published 10 hours ago. Heavy Metal is celebrating its 45th um, anniversary issue by bringing Cold Dead War to Bloody Paradise. So 45th, so that means probably started all the way back in 1977. CBR can exclusively preview, quote, Cold Dead War Bloody Paradise, unquote, a new story written by David Irvin and illustrated by Vasilis Cogzelas. Um, Goggelis. Um, featured in Heavy Metal number 316. The story stars zombie soldier Nelson and his World War II crew, who first originated in Dan O'Bannon's, quote, B-17, unquote, story from the Heavy Metal magazine. The team also appeared in the 1981 Heavy Metal film's bomber plane sequence, which was written by O'Bannon. here's some images right here from the book. Quote: In our initial Cold Dead War comic book, the story took place after the events of World War II. Unquote. Irwin told CBR. Quote: With our 45th anniversary issue, I felt it was important to tease our readers with a sneak peek into the expanding world of Cold Dead War. There is much more story and adventures to be told in upcoming months. In this particular short story, I wanted it to be told through a soldier's journal of his observation that in nature violence is integral to survival. I wanted to show how his violent actions make him closer to nature. Which is true. I mean, you know, we look at the more primal aspects of our of who we are. Yes, they can be very more brutal. You go out in the animal kingdom. You know, at times, you couldn't do this as human beings, but in a more primal situation, you know, a lot of animals just sit there and they just follow the need to procreate. You know, they don't ask permission to when they go into heat. They go into heat and they just do it. Couldn't do that as human beings, of course, because humans do lack the ability, or I'm sorry, they don't lack it. They have the ability to consent. Animals don't necessarily have that. They're more governed by their nature. So, anyways, um, then Nelson and our zombie soldiers come in to save the day, hinting that there is a rich origin to come for Cold Dead War. Heavy Metal magazine, first published in 1977 in an effort to bring well known European comic creators like Mobius, Enki Bilal, and Pepe Moreno to the United States, while also showcasing non mainstream American talent like Richard Corbin, Von Bode, and Frazetta, who we just read an article about yesterday. Now published monthly, um, Heavy Metal Magazine continues to provide fans um, with serialized and solo stories, artist galleries, short stories and prose, and interviews. Let's see. Hmm. I'm the only one. And I might be the only one here right now. Oh, well. Cold Dead War is one of heavy metal's horror based storylines set in World War II, featuring zombies. George C. Romero, son of legendary filmmaker George A. Romero, who made numerous zombie flicks such as 1968's Night of the Living Dead, 1978's Dawn of the Dead, and more, recently wrapped up a Cold Dead War miniseries, which is now available in trade format. Heavy Metal Magazine's 45th anniversary issue features covers by Kim Jong Gi and Simon Bisley, along with, quote, Cold Dead War, Bloody Paradise, unquote. The issue also contains an interview with Bisley, a new Tarna story, and new chapters of The Axe. by Joe Troman, Brian Pussin, and Scott Koblish. Starward by Steve Orlando and Ivan Chavrin. Death Defied by Joe Harris and Federico Pietrobon. And The Adventures of Adrian James by Matthew Medney, Bruce Edwards, and Santa Fun. Okay, that's an interesting name. Santa Fun. Okay, that's a very interesting name to have. I wonder if he's any relation to Santa Claus. The issue is on sale now from Heavy Metal. Source Heavy Metal. Okay. There we go with that one. And as always, guys, feel free to comment or if you have anything that you want to comment on or about articles or ask anything about, free to do so. And if I can answer question, I'll do the best I can to do so. All right. So the last comics articles of the night. Let me this one. How Javier Garon's massive Mephisto reveal in Avengers was influenced by George Perez. Marvel's Avengers artist Javier Garon explains how the massive Mephisto army reveal in issue number 55 was influenced by the legendary George Perez. Article by Brian Schwer, published 4 hours ago. Oh, drat. I didn't think this one was going to be a spoiler one. Man, I hate it when they... And I thought I double checked everything, but I guess not. Man, blasted. All right, so has a replacement. Let's see. Well, this one, I guess I'll do this one then. DC's round. I can fix that a little later. All right, we'll do this one instead. This one I know doesn't have any spoilers in it. DC's round robin competition comes down to Suicide Squad, Dark versus Superboy. Suicide Squad, Dark, and Superboy. The Man of Tomorrow emerged as the two finalists in DC's 2022 round robin tournament. Article by Brendan Schwer, published 22 minutes ago. DC's 2022 round robin tournament has come down to its two final contenders: Suicide Squad Dark and Superboy: The Man of Tomorrow. In the semifinals, Suicide Squad Dark by Zach Thompson and Gary Brown defeated Constantine and the Demon: Vacation from Hell by Frank Allen and Nick Varela. While Superboy: The Man of Tomorrow by Kenny Porter and Johnoi Lindsay beat out Green Lantern: The Light at the End of Forever by Cy Spurrier and Marco Santucci. Suicide Squad and Superboy will now go head to head with information regarding the final round of voting forthcoming. Suicide Squad Dark, written by Zach Thompson, art by Gary Brown. A team of occult misfits and monsters assembled by Amanda Waller, led by Vampire Batman, are forced into a mind-melting suicide mission to assassinate Earth 13's League of Shadows. There's Superboy, Man of Tomorrow, written by Kenny Porter, with art by John Lindsay. Determined to find his place in a strange universe, Connor Kent Superboy leaves Earth behind, but his journey of self-discovery brings him face to face a group of freedom fighters um, who who challenge not just everything Connor stands for, but what it means to bear the Superman crest. DC's 2022 round robin tournament, which initially began with 16 titles in March, allows comic book fans to vote for potential titles. The title that wins the tournament will be published as a digital first series on DC Universe Infinite starting in September, before becoming available in print and on Comixology in October. Robins by writer Tim Seeley and artist Baldemar Rivas, Romulo Fajardo Jr., and Steve Wands won the 2021 round robin tournament and just recently completed its 6-issue run. DC Global Publishing Initiative senior editor Katie Kubert previously said that pitches included in the tournament that don't win still have a chance of being published in the future. Quote, there are some things that I can't say quite yet because they have not been announced, but there's other things where it's like, quote, okay, so these pitches didn't advance, but we value them. We think they're amazing, unquote. She said, quote, so now we have to figure out where they go, unquote. So there we go with that one. But that's the last. So even though we changed it up a bit there, that's the last um, comics article we're going to do tonight. Anyways. Anyways, all that being said, I'm going to step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back, but I'll leave you with some music to listen to while I'm away. So at least we don't have a lot of dead air here. Right back. I'm back. Would seem. Oh, we got some. Hey, Woody. Hey, Mike. Let's see. Oh, yes. I arrived just in time for the, the serenade. I know it's a loop, but where is the connector? I shall listen until I determine it, and some more. Kuguru's Doku. Um. Yeah. Uh-huh. Anyways, Woody. If you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be appreciated. Anyways, get moving on to the next article here. The first anime article of the night. Um, Explosive Gundam movie trailer shows Kukuru's Dawn in action. The latest trailer for the new Mobile Suit Gundam movie shows Kukuru's Dawn, um, demonstrating how deadly a Zaku can be. Article by Michael Estrada, published 11 hours ago. A new trailer for Mobile Suit Gundam Kukuru's Dawn's Island released. Um, while previous trailers for the latest Gundam movie have concentrated on the human drama at the center of the story, the latest trailer features plenty of explosive mobile suit action. The series protagonist, Amuro, is shown charging into battle with the ARC X 78 2's dual beam sabers drawn, while the movie's new Southern Cross Squadron is shown making use of their customized high mobility Zakus. Despite piloting a stock and somewhat beat up Zaku, Kukuru's Dawn's expert skills as a pilot are also demonstrated as he chops up his opponent with the mobile suit. Here's, I guess, the trailer right here. Huh. How about getting back to some content to tell my friends I like and share? Ah, yeah, we say that too. Um, the movie is a remake of the 15th episode of the original 1979 Mobile Suit Gundam anime, set immediately following the brutal battle at Javaro. The film sees the crew of the White Base traveling to a supposedly deserted island in order to track down a group of Xeon stragglers. While scouting the island in his Gundam, Amuro is separated from his mobile suit and comes across a group of war orphans and a former soldier, Kukuru's Dome, who has vowed to protect them. Peace on the island is shattered when White Base engages in battle with the Southern Cross Squadron, a team of elite Xeon pilots, and Dome forced to confront his past. The film stars Shunsuke Takuchi, who voices the eponymous Kuguru's Dome, a Xeon deserter, former ace pilot who has grown disillusioned with the war. Takuchi appeared in a supporting role in the previous Gundam movie, 2021's Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway, where he played Hiram Masam, a member of Mafia, Toru Furuya, will once again reprise his role as the series' original protagonist, um, Amuro Ray. Furuya has been voicing Amuro ever since the franchise's 1979 premiere. Oh, wow, that's like 43 years he's been at it. Ken Narita will also return to voice the White Base's leader, Bright Noah. Narita took on the role of the Federation officer in 2010's Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn after Bright's original voice actor, Hirotaka Suzuki, passed away in 2006 from lung cancer. Mobile Suit Gundam Kukuru's Stones Island is scheduled to premiere in Japan on June 3rd, which will be what? June, oh wait, May- it's still over a month away. Details about the movie's international release have yet to be announced. If that wasn't enough, Mobile Suit Action for you, fans can also look forward to the debut of Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury, an all-new series set in an original continuity, which will premiere this fall. The new anime is being promoted as the first show in the franchise's 40-year history to feature a female central protagonist. All right, then. So there we go with that one. Okay, get ready to move on to the next article here. All right. My Hero Academia's heroes reunite in epic art for Hero Fest Anime Festival. My Hero Academia's cast of pro heroes and Class 1A students reunite in a new piece of art promoting the series' upcoming Hero Fest um, event. Article by Michael Cerner published. Now, so this is probably the promo art they're talking about right here. My Hero Academia released new art for the upcoming Hero Fest event. The new image shows the students of UA High's Class 1A, including central protagonist Izuku Deku Midoriya and his rival, the fiery Katsuki Bakugo, um, alongside their pro hero mentors, which includes their teacher Eraserhead, and Japan's current top ranked hero, Endeavor. A mechanized version of All Might is all seen in the background. I think it's supposed to be also seen is also seen in the background. That's what that's supposed to say. The new art was released through the official Twitter account for the anime series and was created to promote Hero Fest, which is an annual fan festival focused entirely on the My Hero Academia franchise. The event will be held on July 24th at Tokyo's Musashino Forest Sport Plaza. Okay. Then the in-person event will hold an exclusive premiere screening of the first episode of the anime's sixth season. While the fifth season was met with a notably mixed reaction from fans, the sixth season will adapt the eventful Paranormal Liberation War arc, um, which features an all-out war between the series' pro heroes and the villains of the Paranormal Liberation Front, which was recently united under the leadership of the twisted Tomura Shigaraki. The majority of the promo materials for the new season have been focused on the long-awaited showdown between Deku and Shigaraki. The sixth season of the show is scheduled to begin its broadcast sometime this fall, so Hero Fest attendees will get to see the first episode a few months before everyone else. Fans will also be treated to appearances from 15 members of the series' Japanese voice cast, including Daiki Yamashita, who voices Izuku Midoriya, Nobuhiko Okamoto, who voices Katsuki Bakugo, Ayane Sakura, who voices Mochako Urakawa, and Yuki Kaiji, who voices Shoto Todoroki. Attendees will be able to watch I guess it's supposed to be and see the voice actors in a live dubbing event and act out an entirely brand new story that was created specifically for Hero Fest. That sounds cool. Too bad nobody else is going to get to see that, aside from those who are actually there. My Hero Academia was created by Kohei Horikoshi and was first published in 2014. Manga has become one of Weekly Shonen Jump's most popular currently running series with 65 million copies in circulation worldwide. While the success of the series' third movie, 2021's World Heroes Mission, proved that Horikoshi's superhero epic is just as popular as it ever was, the author announced late last year that he was planning on concluding the story sometime before the end of 2022. Manga is currently on the series' final story arc. First 5 seasons of My Hero Academia are available for streaming on Crunchyroll, while the original manga is published in English by Viz Media. There we go with that one. 51-minute mark there. All right, so here's the next story we're going to cover here. Attack on Titan Spy Family Studio announces 10th anniversary exhibition. Which studio, the company behind Attack on Titan's first 3 seasons and newer hits like Spy Family, celebrates its 10th anniversary? Article by Michael Lacerna, published 9 hours ago. Oh, there's look at that. I have a skull horse face and a girl right there. Ah, Attack on Titan and Spy Family's Wit Studio announced a special anniversary exhibition. The acclaimed animation studio announced on its official Twitter account that it will host a special art exhibit celebrating the 10th anniversary of the company's founding. The announcement was posted alongside art of characters from some of Wit Studio's most famous works, including Vivi, Fluorite, Eye, Song, The Great Pretender, Ranking of Kings, And the studio's newest hit, anime adaptation of Spy Family, which is being produced in collaboration with Overwork, another one of Japan's top anime studios. Exhibition will open on May 27th, which will be a Friday, and run until June 20th in Tokyo's Ikebukuro district. Notably absent from the exhibit artwork is Wit Studios' biggest hit, Attack on Titan. Wit produced the first three seasons of the Attack on Titan anime, which was the studio's first major success. Despite the critical acclaim and mainstream popularity that the first three seasons of the show achieved, production of the series was moved over to Studio Mappa, known for Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuri on Ice, for its fourth and final season. The anime's original director, Tetsuro Araki, is still with Studio, where he is currently working on Bubble, a Netflix exclusive anime movie that features a script by Madoka Magica's Gen Orobuchi and character designs by Death Note artist Takeshi Obata. Wit Studio was originally founded in 2012 by veteran anime producer George Wada, who is best known for his work with Production IG on shows such as Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, Pollock, and Haikyuu. Rumors swirled in 2021 that the studio was in financial trouble. Those reports now appear to be either untrue or the company has simply bounced back, as in the last 12 months, Wit has produced numerous hits, including Ranking of Kings, which was one of the most critically acclaimed anime series of the last year, and Spy Family, which is one of the current season's most highly rated show. I would guess it's probably due more to the fact they bounced back. That's whatever where it probably seems to be pointing to. Probably bounced back to whatever troubles they initially were being reported on them. The studio is also recently announced that it is producing Pokemon Hisuian Snow, a brand new mini-series set in the world of Nintendo Game Freak's popular video game. Many of Wit Studios' shows, including the previously mentioned Ranking of Kings and the Spy Family, are available for streaming on Crunchyroll. Attack on Titan has continued to be a hit without Wit Studios, as Mappa recently announced that its final season will continue the third part in 2023. The complete first three seasons of the anime and the first two parts of the final season are also available for streaming on Crunchyroll. So there we go with that one. Anyways, we move on to here's the next article we'll do here. All right, so My Neighbor's Totoro, Shakespeare, and stage adaptation video. Hayao Miyazaki's beloved 1988 classic about the rotund forest spirit and his friends will make its way to the British stage this October. Article by Jeremy Blum, published 8 hours ago. Studio Ghibli's much loved 1988 classic My Neighbor Totoro will soon make its way to the British stage courtesy of the Royal Shakespeare Company. Scheduled for a debut on October 8th, the play will run for a 15-week season till January 21st at London's Barbican Centre and is produced in collaboration with the British Theatre Company, Improbable, and Nippon TV. Playwright Tom Morton Smith, whose previous works include the 2015 play Oppenheimer, about the life of atomic bomb physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, and the adaptation of the film. And Improbable co-founder Phelim McDermott will serve as director. Um, Legendary maestro Joe Hisaishi, responsible for the music in the original movie and other Studio Ghibli productions like Spirited Away, will act as executive producer. A promotional video released by the Royal Shakespeare Company showcases the creative process behind the adaptation, which will use puppetry to depict the titular giant forest spirit. Uh, Quote, that Totoro, people know that image, his proportions, his expressions, they know it, unquote, said Basil Twist, puppeteer responsible for bringing Totoro to life, as well as the mind behind the puppet in Broadway's um, Beauty and the Beast and the Addams Family musical. Quote, so it has to be right, unquote. Hisashi um, approved of the enthusiasm that the Royal Shakespeare Company had applied to the project, calling the team, quote, all creative and committed, unquote, and praising McDermott as a, quote, wonderful director, brackets, who loves Toro. Aside from Hisashi, other East Asian voices on the production team helping to capture the nuance of My Neighbor Totoro's 1950s Japanese setting include costume designer Mie Nakano, lighting designer lighting designer Jessica Hong Han Yoon, um, and movement planner Yori Yamanaka. In an interview with Deadline, McDermott said it was vital to have their assistance on the play, which will feature an ensemble cast composed of actors of East and Southeast Asian heritage. Quote, I'm not from that culture, parentheses Japanese, and there are things in the piece I don't understand about, unquote, Dermot said. It's absolutely essential to have those voices in the room. Quote, unquote. Hayao Miyazaki, director of the original film and the mind behind many of Studio Ghibli's project, has also given the production his blessing and met with Morton Smith in person. even asking the playwright if he was a feminist. Quote, I said yes, close quote, and that was very important to him, and that the girls are central, unquote. One of it said. My Neighbor Totoro stars two sisters named Satsuki and May who befriend Totoro and a variety of other forest spirits as they adjust to new life in a rural village in post-war Japan, tying together themes of environmentalism and Shinto animism. The film subtly tells the tale of the girls slowly growing up, is widely considered to be one of the finest animated movies ever made. I would go with that one. I'm going to need to yeah, look first article here. All right, this will be the next article we'll read. But before I do that, I've got to step away from the computer again. I'll be right back. All right. So, anyways, getting ready to we're just past the hour mark. We're getting ready to move on to the next article here. Why shoujo anime rarely ever reach mainstream popularity. Why do so few shoujo anime? Now, shoujo anime are those anime that are directed towards girls, basically. shonen is for boys, shoujo is for girls. So, um, just as a way I understand. Reach mainstream popularity. Here's a look at some of the major factors that contributed to this. Article by Paige Villasine, published 5 hours ago. Looking at today's mainstream anime, almost all of it is of the shonen genre. While there are a few shoujo anime that have reached immense popularity before it's never been the same extent as many shonen anime. It's not like studios have suddenly stopped producing shoujo anime. They are still several being released every year. Likewise, there are still many shoujo manga still in publication. So, what is it about the genre that makes it more difficult to appeal to the mainstream compared to its shonen counterpart? There are several factors that contribute to this, but here are a few of the biggest ones. Most shoujo anime are short, running about running at about 12 to 26 episodes without any further seasonal renewals. That's kind of true. Meanwhile, all the most popular shonen anime are incredibly long, which is why they're able to stay with the public. Actually, for the well, yeah, you have a lot of shonen anime, but you also have some shonen anime that are also in that 12 to 26 episode range too. I think on average, I think most Japanese anime are like 12 to 26 episodes. Um, but you do have some that and granted, like there's shonen series like obviously Dragon Ball, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto that have all had pretty lengthy runs. You know, Yu Yu Hakusho, Full Metal Alchemist. Uh, Now, doesn't mean there aren't like shoujo animes like manga and anime. Not as many though. Like News on a Goku is a prime example. Like that would be considered kind of a shoujo. Maybe a goju, because it's probably more like adult women, but that could be considered shoujo as well. Because of the romantic aspect of it. Not romantic, like maybe kind of anyways, I'm gonna go off camera for just one more moment. That I turn on my light here. Things are starting to come down here. So, right back. All right. Anyways, getting back to the article here. Most show. Okay, we already read that part. Okay, stay within the public conscious for so long. One Piece has over 1,000 episodes, which we talked about. Hunter x Hunter has been around since the 90s. Naruto was airing for more than a decade before finally passing on to its sequel series, Boruto. This is also a conscious decision of the magazines that the shonen manga run in, particularly those that run in Shonen Jump. If the series is popular, the editors want to keep it running for as long as possible in order to hold on to the momentum and keep the public's interest, which makes sense. It's very rare for shoujo anime to run for very long. Well, yeah, because you do have a more of a specific storyline in there too. Usually most shoujo, a lot of shoujo anime, there's like romantic slice of life stuff going on there. There's only so much you can do within a particular amount of time. So even if a show manages to be positively received by a large audience, the popularity will only last for as long as the series keeps releasing new content. That isn't to say that shoujo anime tend to be short, as there are many that have been serialized for several decades, but very few studios go out of their way to renew shoujo anime for additional seasons. This is why Fruits Basket and Natsume Eugene Show are such rarities among their shoujo brethren. The first anime adaptation of Fruits Basket was released way back in 2001, clocking in at just 26 episodes. It was one of the most popular anime of the early 2000s, and its popularity somehow persisted into the next decade, even after the manga had finished its run. It's a cute story. You know the story of it, and you can understand why it ran for so long. Um, let's see. It's likely thanks to this that it was finally rebooted in 2019 with a proper, complete adaptation of all 23 manga volumes. Several other anime have started to get the reboot treatment in recent years. Fruits Basket was the first, currently the only shoujo anime to receive such a treatment. Natsumi Eugene Show, which I believe translates as Natsumi's Book of Friends, by the way, has been renewed for not just one, not two, but 6 seasons total as of writing. No other shoujo anime has been renewed for this many seasons ever. It also received 2 films that featured entirely new characters and storylines, while many shonen anime have gotten film releases that featured all new stories not adapted from the original manga. It's extremely rare for non-magical girl shoujo anime to do the same. Natsumi Eugene Show's popularity is very likely due to it having a much wider audience appeal compared to most other shoujo anime. It has a male protagonist rather than a female one, and it doesn't feature any kind of romance, which typically go hand in hand in shoujo manga. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Its manner of storytelling is also told in a very serialized format, allowing for many standalone episodes and chapters, which is probably why the manga has managed to continue going for as long as it has, with no signs of stopping. Well, when you got Natsumi's Book of Friends, and you got the idea of somebody going around making a whole bunch of friends, that can help lead to a nice long story there. Because the more friends you have, the more interactions you have, better off you are. Many shoujo anime tend to focus on romances, so there's also something of a stigma against it. Not unlike how many men blow off romantic comedies as just quote unquote chick flicks, shonen anime, on the other hand, can have a broader appeal as many of them can focus on action, comedy, romance, and all of the above, or all of the above. While there are a good deal of shoujo anime that aren't just about magical girls or high school romances, there are very few of them. This lack of variety is what prevents the genre from further expanding its audience. Anime with romance as its focal point also do not have the luxury of time on its side, while action and even comedy series are able to lengthen their lifespan by constantly introducing new obstacles or characters. Romance shows tend to stagnate if they drag on for too long. A show can only keep repeating the same misunderstandings and bumbled confessions for so long before the audience loses its patience, which is true. Yeah, that 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 can work against them. You know, hence why a lot of shoujo animes are just compressed into like 12. You usually it's the 11 to 13 format as opposed to 24 to 26 format. Albeit, you got cute ones like Nana 7 of 7. That's a 26 episode anime that I think does a pretty, of course, they got the underlying story of the main character being split up into 7 different personalities and then an eighth one showing up as well later. But, so there's for the most part, um, for so long before, yeah, okay. And when the main couple finally gets together, it's easy for the reader to start to lose interest in the story. Because, all right, now they've worked through whatever problems that or whatever issues that held them back from becoming. Now that they are a couple, is it just supposed to be just peaches and cream all now? You know, um, at that point, even if the story is still ongoing, it may as well be finished. This is typically only excused if there is an overarching plot beyond the romance between the main characters. Yeah, and that's true too. I think another example of this could be Negima. Even though I don't think most people wouldn't think of Negima as having any romance element, you could there even though all the girls want to vie for Negi's attention. All these, 13, 14-year-old girls wanting to vie for this like 10-year-old's attention, 10-year-old genius teacher's attention. Um, you know, there is that overarching storyline in Negima about him trying to pass his wizard training and plus some of the stuff going on, in terms of some of the subplots regarding him as a teacher and a student. So, yeah, and, finally, and this may be the biggest one, there aren't a lot of shoujo anime being made. Yes, several studios still adapt a good deal of them, but there aren't nearly as many being released compared to shonen and even seinen anime. anime geared towards older men. Josei anime geared towards older women, receive anime adaptations even less often. Um, Now, I don't know if that means if what they're talking about when they say older men and older women. I don't know if that means like anime geared towards the 20 something crowd or the 30 something crowd or whatever. I guess in a way you could argue that Maizen and Koku, which I mentioned earlier, could be more of a josei anime if it's kind of like, or if you're talking about more from life experience, like the idea of being a young adult and beyond college and going out into the real world. Um, I think Princess Jellyfish, in fact, would probably be also could be considered a josei anime in a way. Um, just a handful being released each year. While there are a lot of anime being made with a female audience in mind, with things like male idol anime or anime based on Yume Joshi games aimed at girls, though not necessarily dating sims like Otome games. Um, they aren't quite the same as shoujo. These anime typically have male leads and very few female characters, as the point of these types of animes is to sell and market the pretty boys in the show and encourage its female audience to quote unquote ship themselves with those characters. Now, for those of you who don't understand the terminology, why the ship is in a parentheses there, basically the idea there is this practice in some of these shows in which sometimes fans will try to ship or try to put like certain specific characters into quote unquote relationships. You know, I know Hero Hay talks a lot about that. You know, there are people like, for example, with in the My Hero Academia, like one of the more popular ones I've heard of in the My Hero Academia anime fandom is how there are a lot of fans in the My Hero Academia fandom who are constantly trying to ship, uh, I think Deku and Bakugo, or Bakugo and Crimson, or whatever. Um, So they sometimes will try to do like same sex relationships. You know. So that's what shipping means. But I think in this case, what they're talking about here is having the females who watch these pretty boy animes, as they call them, putting themselves into the story and imagining them being involved in a relationship with that male character. As a result, these types of anime are also typically devoid of romance. But ultimately, what will lead to more shoujo anime being produced is fan demand. Popularity is what will allow a manga to be adapted into an anime, or be greenlit for a new season, or even lead to a theatrical release. Producing anime is a lot like making a big investment. So, of course, most studios are going to want to adapt something popular. What tells them that a series is popular? Sales figures. Money makes will go round, as they say, and the world of anime is no different. So there we go with that one. Let's see where are we at on time. We're coming up on an hour 27, so we're making good time then. See, I think this might be the All right. So anyway, we got hello, welcome back, or welcome. If you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. We're almost actually done with the articles, and I think we got just one more to go before we're finished with reading the articles. Let me just see here. Oh yeah, this was going to be the last article that we're going to read. So, and if there's anything you want to add or ask about or add, feel free to do so. Anyways, so here we go. Rising of the Shield Heroes lead voice actor. This is the English voice actor, by the way. Reveals stage 4 cancer diagnosis. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Rising of the Shield Hero actor Billy Kametz, who aside from doing like I think now Fumi from Rising of the Shield Hero, he's also is Metal Lee in Boruto. I know he's Hiroto Kujo in um, Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise. Announces he is taking a break from acting to focus on his health. Article by Michael Orsana, published 5 hours ago. So there he is right there. Billy Kametz, the English voice of Rising of the Shield Heroes central protagonist Naofumi, announces he is taking a break from acting following a cancer diagnosis. The prolific voice actor gave an update on his health in a video posted to his personal YouTube channel. Quote, recently I have been diagnosed stage 4 colon cancer. Oh, I can, well, my dad, that's what my dad passed away from. So I kind of, he's in for, but he's at least younger. On parentheses. Kametz stated, quote, I'm doing okay, unquote. The actor added, stating, quote, I'm on a good dose of pain meds to help out with that. I've started chemotherapy. It sucks. It's just a freak of nature thing that happened that I just have to deal with now. And we're going to do it, unquote. The actor explained how he discovered he had cancer, stating he went to the emergency room after experiencing a pain in his shoulder along with digestive problems. This is from his health update. Also revealed that he will be taking a break from acting and will be moving back in with his family for the time being. Quote, there are some shows that I was doing that I wasn't able to finish. Rising of the Shield, in brackets, is coming back for season 2 and a season 3. I'm sadly not going to be part of it, unquote, he stated. While his roles will have to be recast, Kametz encouraged his fans to support his replacements. Quote, it's such a weird thing for an actor to have to do. If you could just support the garbage out of them, just be their biggest cheerleader, that would make me really, really happy, unquote. According to the actor, the cancer has spread to his liver, lungs, and spine. Wow. Quote, my nerves have been shut off on my left arm for quite some time, so I have zero strength. I have like zero strength. So video games are out of the question for right now, which sucks, unquote, said Kametz, who frequently posts on social media about video games he is playing. Despite the diagnosis, Kamitz is optimistic that he will overcome the illness. Quote, I'll just kick this thing's butt and then we'll be back, unquote, he said. Quote, I'm not going to quit. I'm very positive. I'm very hopeful. If you pray, I will take it. If you're an energy person, I'll take any good vibes. Let's just hive mind this and thing right out of me, unquote, the actor said with a smile. So he's at least taking it in stride, so that's good. Let me just double check something here. I'm gonna double check something real quick here. Let me see. Just want to get so yeah hiatus. Oh yeah, he was also Josuke Higashikata in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Diamond is Unbreakable. Let's see. Let's see. Um, Apparently, no information can be found on his birth. Like just to kind of get an idea how old he is. Try one more source here, and then that doesn't have it. Oh, so at least according to Anime News Network, his profile on Anime News Network, um, he was born March 22nd, 1987. So let's see, he's actually 35 years old right now. So he's actually kind of young. So he may be young and strong enough to get through it. So that's one thing to maybe look forward to for him. Kametz has starred in the English dubs for a number of popular anime and video game releases. In addition to playing the lead in Rising of the Shield Hero, he also portrayed Josuke in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Ferdinand in Nintendo and Intelligent Systems hit strategy RPG Fire Emblem Three Houses, and Ari in the anime adaptation of the acclaimed Vinland Saga. Has most recently starred he most recently starred as Shota Aoi in Global Works Tokyo 24th Ward. Also, of course, as I mentioned, he's also been Metal Lee in Boruto and Hiroto Kujo in Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise. So there we go with that. Let's see, is that all the so all right, so there we go with that one. So that was the last of the articles. So and we're now at hour 36. So let me get through some wrestling news here. And the WWE, among some of the news that came out of the WWE today, some of the stuff I watched included so underground rapper Copyright, spelled Copywrite, has come out and claimed that back when John Cena was going through his Doctor Thugonomics gimmick, or persona, John Cena apparently stole the lyrics to copyright stuff. Now it doesn't seem like he's suing anything, but he's claiming that Cena may have ripped him off. But people aren't sure if this is actually for real or if he's just saying this because apparently because that was back earlier on in his WWE career. That was like Doctor Thugonomics was one of his earlier, probably his first major persona in the WWE. Um, Also, Mustafa Ali made his as I said last night. Mustafa Ali made his WWE return on Raw, and it looks like they may be pushing him into a program with Champa. Um, see, of course, there's also news reports out there that WWE has no interest in bringing Ryback back, but I don't even know if Ryback would want to come back, considering he's been very critical of the WWE in recent years. Let's see what else was there? Anything else? um, all right, I don't think so. So, anyways, on to AEW news then. So on tonight's AEW Dynamite, scheduled now. Granted, it's probably going on right now as we're speaking, um, but on tonight's episode, in the main event was supposed to see, is main event. You're going to have Sammy Guevara defending his recently won TNT Championship against Scorpio Sky in a ladder match. Um, Also, there's going to be women's action in a Philly street fight as Hikaru Shida looks to finish her business with Serena Deeb wrestling tonight. Um, let's see. Also, probably considered one of the top teams in the world right now, FTR. They're the two members of FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, are going to be facing off each other in a qualifying match for the Owen Hart tournament. Excuse me a moment. I'll be right back. Gotta go off camera here for a moment. All right, I'm back. But anyways, also on Dynamite tonight, battle of two powerhouses. Um, you've got Wardlow fending off the assault of the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer. So that's all of the AEW news. Also in Impact Wrestling news, the former um, Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Champions, the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay, have decided to take a break from take an indefinite break from wrestling at the moment to pursue other ventures. So they'll be leaving Impact for a while. The wrestling, whether or not they'll come back to wrestling, nobody knows. Yet they just announced that they were taking a break from wrestling to pursue other ventures. And also in some lucha libre news from AAA has pulled Alberto El Patron, better known to most wrestling fans here in the states as Alberto Del Rio from his time in the WWE. They have pulled him from their Triple Mania event. There's been no indication why he was pulled, but AAA Booker Conan has stated that they still have plans for him at some point, but for whatever reason, he was pulled from the AAA main event from AAA's Triple Mania event, and AAA's Triple Mania event is basically their WrestleMania, basically. Um, so that's all of the wrestling news for tonight. So with that, I think it would be a good time to start winding things down, wrapping things up. So today being Wednesday, April the 27th, 2022, would be a good time to take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. History! Let me just. Okay, so, anyways, take a look back at this day, and the first piece of Nietzsche history is actually a birthday wish. As I would like to wish a happy 50th birthday I'd like to wish a happy 50th birthday to Wesley Wild. Um, he is an American screenwriter, producer, and voice actor. He is best known for writing and producing several episodes of the animated series Family Guy. He was a former executive producer and occasional voice actor for the show. So, I'd like, as I said, like to wish Wesley Wild, American screenwriter, producer, and voice actor, a happy 50th birthday. So, to the next piece of moving on to the next piece of Nietzsche history, we head to 1992. As on this date in 1992, Barry Windham would defeat Steve Austin for the WCW Television Championship um, at a Saturday night taping that would be aired May 9th of that year. Um, so on this date, which actually happened to be a Monday, I believe, in 1992, which was 30 years ago today, Barry Windham would defeat Steve Austin in Atlanta at a Saturday night taping that would be broadcast on May the 9th for the WCW World Television Championship. This, of course, is the same Steve Austin that many fans know of today as Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was about 4 years before he became Stone Cold and forever changed professional wrestling as we know it. So on this date, 30 years ago today, Barry Windham would defeat Steve Austin for the WCW World Television Championship. Also, and last but not least, last but not least, Last piece of niche history here. On this date back in 2011, 900th issue of Volume 1 of Action Comics went on sale on this date back in 2011, 11 years ago today. On this date in 2011, the 900th issue of Volume 1 of Action Comics went on sale on this date, 11 years ago today, for $5.99. Yeah, $5.99. It was actually 96 pages. This is you had a Lex Luthor feature along with 4 Superman stories. So they really were pushing this out. And remember, Action Comics started out as this is the same Action Comics that we're currently at the very beginning of. This is the 900th issue of the volume that we're reading right now. So just think about it. You know. So, anyways, there we go. That's it for that. So, let me just, of course, remind everybody that this Friday, of course, will be our weekly look back at a weekly historical comic retrospect. We're going to be finishing off our December of 1938 coverage by looking at comics that went on sale from the United Features Syndicate. Batcoat will, of course, hopefully will be with me that night. And then don't forget, also on Saturday, I will be on Critical Blast promoting the channel. So that, and as always, on the Mikestand is Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. As for when I'll be on Critical Blast on Saturday, that'll be at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. So, anyways, guys, I thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the content, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.